Welcome everyone to another special feature from the Movie Bros podcast. This is, I think, technically our third.
Technically.
This is kind of a bonus episode of whatever we decide it to be. It's usually kind of holiday themed. We've done Halloween, we did Thanksgiving, we skipped Christmas because we got busy or we're out of town. But we're back for New Year's, so we're probably going to post this either New Year's
On
Eve or
New Year's Day.
Probably New Year's Day, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is
Well-
kind of a year in review of either what we saw, what we didn't see, everything more or less that came out this year. So if this is movies that you did get to come around and see, let us know. Maybe we're talking about something that we don't really have enough information about, and you do. Tell us. If there's anything that we didn't see that we absolutely should have, tell us. This will actually sound a lot like my other podcast, Dunk's Movie Corner Pod, where it's just a quick little 1 or 2 sentence recap of each movie, my thoughts or Hayden's thoughts on it. It's not going to be a super long discussion on any individual movie. Or, I mean, it might be. We don't really have it's going to be a very loose structure, I guess.
So basically, we're going to go month by month. We're going to talk about, okay, here's everything that was released. Did we watch it? If we did, what'd we think about it? If not, we're going to keep going. Sometimes we might say a little bit more than a few sentences per movie, but most times we're just going to give some surface level. Did we like it? Did we not like it? And we're going to move on.
And with that, Hayden, let's start in, I guess, January of 2024.
So January 2024, we had Night Swim, The Book of Clarence, the Mean Girls musical movie, The Beekeeper, Distant, and The Underdogs.
Okay, let's go through those. Let's go a little slower. What was the first one?
The first one is called Night Swim. It was a horror movie about a haunted pool.
Yes, swimming pool. I remember seeing stills like of the poster, and I was like, "Yeah, it looks kind of cool," but it also sounds like a dumb movie.
I like the producer director James Wan. The concept sounded so freaking stupid. I did not watch it.
Wait, isn't James Wan the one who did the Aquaman movies?
Yes. Trust me, that is a baffling choice even now that they got the guy who made all 3 Conjuring movies and the first 2 Insidious movies to make, Aquaman.
Okay, all right.
I did not watch it. It looked dumb.
Fair.
The Book of Clarence? I'm not sure what that is.
It's the Keith Stanfield pretending to be like a messiah, but it's also like a dark comedy set in like Jesus time.
Oh, okay, so kind of like Life of Brian from the 80s.
Yes, sort of. I don't know a ton about it. I like him a lot actually as an actor. I haven't gotten around to seeing it, but I'd like to see Sorry for Bothering You. I feel like it's kind of in the same strain as that.
Yeah.
Either way,
I know
didn't know nothing about it.
I know Morgan really liked it was like something in the Black Messiah that he was in a couple of years ago.
Judas and the Black. Yeah, that is supposed to be also very good.
Yeah.
I didn't get around to seeing it.
Me neither. Yeah. We didn't watch it.
Okay,
the
pass.
Mean Girls musical movie.
It looked terrible and it got like horrendous reviews.
Like even by people who liked Mean Girls, they hated it. So I'm not in that camp anyway. Didn't watch it.
Pass.
The Jason Statham movie, The Beekeeper.
I heard I think it did well at the box office, didn't it?
I heard it was silly and fun, and I figured, you know what? If it shows up on a streaming platform, I'll watch it. I don't feel like it deserves my money, though.
No, I would not pay money for that. They're all more or less the same movie.
Yes. It's,
yeah.
Funnily enough, that's actually a David Ayer movie.
Really?
I think so.
That's kind of. Are you sure?
It might be Antoine Fuqua.
Oh, Anton Fuqua, of course.
You would know some of his stuff as well. In any event, we didn't watch it.
Pass.
And then something here called Distant.
I'd never heard of it.
By title, don't know what it is. And that's what we have for January 2024.
Granted, I will say that usually January, like the earlier part of the year, is kind of
it's a dumping ground for movies. Like
usually, yes.
Yeah. February, we got Argyle.
I think we can talk about Argyle. I would say
I think we're going to have different opinions here.
Go on.
Okay. No. Okay. I enjoy Argyle, but I think it was marketed terribly and it was sold on the fact that it was going to be a Henry Cavill spy comedy, which it 100% is not. I enjoy it for what it is. I think it's very, very silly. I think it's a lot of fun. Bryce Dallas Howard can star in anything. I'm a big fan of hers. I think she's very attractive, so that's a huge point of me liking the movie.
I agree. However, I think they could have trimmed out the last like 40 minutes, I don't know, where she's like ice skating on oil or some shit. Didn't need to. I also okay, I know it's supposed to be a Henry Cavill led movie, which I think it's interesting how they use him, but I also do like in pretty much any role he can be in Sam Rockwell. I think
Oh yeah,
obviously
he's great.
you and I have talked about him obviously plenty on this podcast with Three Billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri, just as a throwback, folks. But
See How They Run.
See How They Run. Yes, I didn't think of that. We've actually done several movies of his.
We're big fans.
But yes, I felt not just I get why they marketed it the way they did. Otherwise, I don't know if they'd get a large
I think
turnout
if
for it.
if all the trailers showed how goofy and silly and how Bryce Dallas Howard character centric it was, it would not have made very much money. And it
No,
was already a box office bomb, to be fair.
but I will say there's like the train scene where it's her like cutting
Yeah.
back in, like that's super fun. Super fun.
I don't know. I enjoyed it, but I understand why people don't like it.
Oh yeah, I don't think I need to rewatch that anytime soon, if I'm honest.
Okay. Then
Okay.
next we have something called The Promised Neverland, which I don't recognize the title. I don't know what that
Sounds like a
is.
snooze fest.
It kind of does.
Okay.
It ends with us, which
Is that
I have heard nothing but bad fallout about that. It's the Blake Lively
dude,
romantic
there's
comedy
stuff happening. There's stuff happening
where
right now.
where it was about domestic violence and just
Yeah. Like right now.
genuinely bad fallout from it. Yes.
Like there is a lawsuit I think I saw in the news yesterday from Blake Lively against the co-star dude. Yeah.
But then whenever I look at, a post about it, all the comments are like, "Oh, she's trying to save face," and yada yada yada. So
Yeah.
I've heard
Well,
nothing but bad news about it, but it's not something I've watched.
supposedly the book it's based on is very good. That's why so many people came out to see it.
Oh, it's a
I
Colleen Hoover thing, yeah.
I don't really get granted, I am not in any way the audience
Oh,
by age,
absolutely
by
not.
gender, by anything, but
No.
yeah, I had literally zero interest in this. And I've never found her to be like an amazing actress,
Well,
if I'm
she's a
being
terrible
honest.
actress.
Like
Like,
she's very beautiful. I wouldn't say she's hot. I wouldn't say she's cute. She's very
oh,
beautiful.
she's very beautiful, but she can't act.
No. Like there okay, I don't know if you saw, did you ever see The Age of Adeline with
I was about
her?
to bring that up. I've seen bits and pieces of it.
It's not bad,
It's
but
not
I
bad, but
feel
she looks like a wooden doll the entire time.
kind of like everyone else kind of care like it is her movie, but like it's got Harrison Ford and the some other like unknown young guy.
Yes.
It's they do the acting.
She's
She's
just
kind of
there because
bland.
she's pretty.
Yes.
Right. Next one we have is Lisa Frankenstein. I wanted to watch this, but it also looked like something where I don't know if I want to pay full price to go to a theater to watch this,
Is that the
and I
one with like the
don't know
Cole
if it
Sprouse or
ever.
Dylan Sprouse thing?
Yes, I don't
It
think it
looked
ever came to a
really? It
streaming.
looked bad, dude. It looked not good.
It looked like my kind of weird, quirky crap. I mean, I'm not going to say I think it looks good. I think it looks interesting and different. Um,
I guess
I
it
don't
did
think it
not
ever
look
came to a
good.
streaming service, so I'm not sure I ever watched it either. Well, the next thing I know we both watched, because we watched it together and we have an episode about it, it's Madam Web,
That was the next thing that came out
February the 14th. They released that shit on Valentine's Day.
because it's got so much romance in it, or story, or acting, or writing ability,
If
or
you would
literally
like to
anything.
hear our opinions about this movie, go back and listen to that episode. It is an hour and a half of us just shitting on it.
Yeah, I don't think we need to get into that. Let's just
No.
say listen to the episode.
Next, we have the Bob Marley biopic, which I had absolutely no interest in and didn't watch.
I mean, my work showed it for I think 2 weeks, and it did really like well at our theater. And the little bits that I saw when I was in the theater, like delivering cocktails or stuff like that, it looked, I mean, kind of like generic, like biopic vibes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like again, there's so many of those that are coming out right now. Like the one that's another Bob, what's his name? Bob Dylan is out now.
Yes, with
Who's asking for
Timothy
these?
Shamalama Ding Dong. I
But the
have no
thing
idea.
is, I don't know who's asking for it, but like we are selling out every night. Like the
That's
theaters are full.
bizarre to me. Like, granted, I'm not a huge folk singer fan, but like Bob Marley was relevant in the 60s.
Yeah. Which is at the 60s were 60 years ago, dude.
Like, is there really that many like people in their arguably 70s who are going to go watch this?
Well, it's weird because we're also occasionally having younger people coming in for this, and it's not because it's Bob Dylan, it's because of the younger cast, like
Sure,
Timothy Chalamet Ding Dong.
it's for Timothy Chalamet and Elle Fanning. Like, I get it, but I don't know.
Yeah. I just I crave originality more. Like every movie that comes out, the more I'm like, give me something original. Like even I guess
Unless it's
Oppenheimer.
Sonic 3, in which
Well, no,
case
just
go out and watch that.
I saw like Christopher Nolan has officially said he's doing The Odyssey, which looks. I mean, I think it's gonna be good, but it's still not original.
I mean, that's true. I think I have more faith in a
Well,
Nolan
I do too,
unoriginality
but just
project than perhaps, you know, the Bob Marley
yes,
movie.
yes. I don't know. I want more interesting things that I don't kind of already know what's gonna happen.
Well, the next one that was released was an original movie, and literally no one went to watch it. It was called Drive Away Dolls. It was a Margaret
Oh, I watched
Qualley
it, Hayden.
movie, and it had
It was really bad.
Matt Damon in it. Oh, really?
I watched it, I think, on a plane or something somewhere. I think, yeah, because that was the time I was off to Bon Air. Yeah, it was not good,
I
and
heard it
it
was just a
was
lot of really weird sex scenes.
well, it's yeah. I don't really want to explain or get into it, but yes, it's odd,
Okay,
like really odd, and not like quirky, fun odd, like sometimes the Coen Brothers can do.
sure.
It, yeah, it just did not do
So
well.
we're grouping that with Madam Web in that we did not like it.
Well, like Madam Web was so bad, it was like ridiculous to talk about. This would be just like, oh, I'm just kind of like, ugh,
Yeah.
like,
Well, we now move on
okay.
to March. Opened March 1st with The Fall Guy, which I liked a lot.
I've seen it. I've seen it twice. It was fun.
I mean, I think you need to temper your expectations that it's going to be a very silly romantic action comedy, but I had a good time.
Yeah, I think the beginning was good. The middle was a little too jumbled for me and quick, but then the end stretched just a like when they're on the set at the very end with
Hmm.
the helicopter. I feel like they could have. I don't know. They could have wrapped that shit up a little bit.
I
But
mean,
the
not perfect,
chemistry
but
between
I did still like it.
oh yes, the chemistry though between Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt,
Oh,
fantastic.
absolutely. It makes
The
the whole
music
movie.
was fun. They had
Yep.
a dog as like a not a major character, but a character.
Hmm.
I don't know. It just felt like a fun, like a original blockbuster movie.
Yes. All right. And then after that, the movie Imaginary, which is a horror movie about a possessed teddy bear. I didn't
Lame.
watch it. It from all accounts, all the reviews say that the teddy bear like animatronic is cool looking, and the entire movie is just dumb. Like it looks interesting, but the movie itself is not good. Then we
Yeah,
have
that
Kung
sounds
Fu
lame.
Panda 4, which went to theaters and then completely disappeared.
I think I saw the first two, and after that, I was like, yeah, all right, I'm good. I think I'm good.
I've seen the first 3 and I really like them. This looked kind of like a cash grab, and it features Aquafina as a voice talent, and I can't stand her, so I decided not to watch it.
Yeah, I'm not a huge. That's neither here nor there. All right, go to the next one, Hayden.
Next one is Dune Part 2, which I
Oh,
loved.
fucking awesome!
Right? And shame on the Academy for disqualifying Hans Zimmer's soundtrack for Best Original Score.
Really?
They claimed it used a percentage wise too much music from the first one and that it wasn't an original composition, which seems dumb to me. All right, after that, we had.
Well, hold on. Before we go on, I feel like the first time I saw it, I was really just focused on the story because, yes, obviously it's based on a book. Lots of people have read the book. I have not read the book, or at least I have tried to read the book, but I have
It's a
never
pretty
actually
dense
completed.
book.
Dude, it's super fucking dense. Either way, first time I was focused on the story, which was great, but the second time I feel like I was focused on like the overall experience, the vibes of like Sicario and Blade Runner, Uh, the lighting choices. I feel like that's the kind of movie where it is. Yes, it's long, but it is worth like watching more than once.
Absolutely.
So, folks, if you only watched Dune Part Two once, watch it a second time. It's worth it.
Absolutely. Something that is not worth it is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
Oh, that was such hot garbage, dude.
It
Holy
was
shit.
and Ghostbusters
Afterlife.
Afterlife was so good.
I wouldn't
And
say it
this
was
was
so good,
I don't
but
know. I really
it
liked
was
it.
fun. Like it was definitely the best of like the newer batch.
Sure, and I felt that it was a nice send off for Harold Ramis, and this was not that. It was slow and boring. Just it wasn't very funny.
Looking at the guy who directed that though, he did Monster House, like the one that was like the animation when we were a little kid.
Yeah,
He remade Poltergeist, and apparently that also did not do well.
with Sam Rockwell.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Oh
it's
shit.
not good though.
Huh.
It's not good.
Well, he also made City of Ember, because I remember reading those books and loving those books. I never
Oh,
saw the movie.
with Saoirse Ronan in like her first
Huh?
role.
And Bill Murray and
I've
Tim
never seen
Robbins.
that, and I've never read it, so I
Huh.
don't know.
The books were as like a young adult, as like 14, the books were fucking cool. Either way, sorry. Continue.
Well, I mean, I was just going to move on to the next month.
January, February, that's March.
Yes.
All right, have at it. Let's do March.
No, no, no. We just finished March.
Wait,
All right,
what
we're
was
gonna segue right into April. So we have
hold on. I feel like there was
okay.
other like I'm looking at my letterbox for what I watched, and Roadhouse came out in March. And did you not reference that?
Only thing I have here is showing is theatrical ones. Maybe I'm missing ones that went straight to Amazon.
Because I actually really enjoyed this. I don't know if you have any inclination or anything like that, but folks, if
I'd
you
like to
have,
watch it.
oh, because I think right now, Hayden, you and I have access to Amazon Prime, and
Kinda, sorta.
I maybe I'll see if the parents want to watch that because that was honestly a lot of fun for what it was. It is so much better than the original. The fighting was actually fun and interesting. Jake Gyllenhaal is likable. Like it's not trying to do this weird, like solo lone wolf vibe of Patrick Swayze, even though he's not intimidating at all. There's actually funny bits. I don't know, like I liked the movie. Like I watched it with my roommates, and it was generally like enjoy. Like I had a good time watching it. It was the experience. It was enjoyable. I
Is that the
wish
one
it
that
had.
also has the freaking that one boxer in it?
Yes, Conor McGregor is a
Yes.
bad guy.
And he walks around like a Lego character who can't move his arms.
Dude, he's well, I mean, that's how he's built. But yes, he kind of walks around like an ape.
Well, I mean, maybe we can watch that soon. Who knows?
I would recommend it, just generally speaking. All right,
Well,
sorry,
since
continue.
no. That's 100% fine. Since maybe my list isn't as complete as I thought it was. If you have yours sorted by month and you see something there that you watch that I don't
Sure.
mention, please bring it up.
Yep.
All right, so moving right on into April, we have Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire, which I think is stupid, but if you go in looking for something silly and fun, I think it delivers on that.
No, I don't think it delivers on that.
Really?
Literally, I rated it 1.5 stars out of 5. My review was, "Holy crap, this is bad." No,
I
it was really not good.
I enjoyed it. I don't think you like fun.
I like good fun. I don't like discount amateur fun.
Agree to disagree. The next one that came out was the second Rebel Moon, which I watched the first one, did not care for it at all, and so I didn't watch this one.
Yeah, I watched the first half and was pretty underimpressed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't watch the second one either.
Challengers, I know lots of people enjoy. I know you enjoyed it and you watched it. It didn't appeal to me, so I didn't watch it though.
I was tentative because I really didn't think it'd be really my thing.
Yeah.
But wow, the cinematography was super cool. The music they chose, like this like synth like
Well, Trent
dance.
Reznor and Atticus Ross make fantastic stuff.
Yeah, it was honestly it was super cool. But yes, the whole like the actual content of like the basically the tennis love triangle, like we get it,
Yeah.
Zendaya. You're hot and the whole movie you're super manipulative. but
Yeah, I don't know.
yes. No, it was good. I would recommend. I gave it 4.5 out of 5. All right, where were we?
So I've tried a new site, and yes, we have missed a bunch of them.
Well, let's just kind of quickly go back, folks, and touch back on those. And yeah,
Very
this
sorry.
is. Oh, hey, I figured again. This is a loose episode, and that's okay.
Okay, so we're going to quickly run through January just to say the things that we didn't say the first time. Again, I can only apologize. We have Beekeeper, Book of Clarence, Mean Girls, something called Driving Madeline.
Never heard of it. Pass. Keep going.
Okay, Founders Day. It's a bad horror movie.
Pass. Keep going.
A Cult Killer. It's a bad horror movie.
Pass. Keep going.
Sunrise. No, never heard of it. Miller's Girl with Martin Freeman.
Oh, I heard that was.
Heard of it. Sounds weird and creepy. Don't particularly want to watch that.
Yep. Pass. Keep going.
Hundreds of Beavers, which I watched. I like that, and I think it's very silly.
I fell asleep. So
Well, to be fair, we'd also eaten a shit ton of food, and it was Christmas afternoon, so everyone was falling asleep.
fair.
Okay, February, Argyle, which we already talked about. The Promised Land, yada yada yada. Okay, Lisa Frankenstein, re-release of Turning Red, which I never watched.
Had
a
no
movie,
interest.
a movie called Cobweb, which I would like to watch.
Spider shit? No. Pass.
No, it's a different thing. Taste of Things, upgraded, yada yada yada. Re-release of Amelie.
I saw that.
I own that. I like that movie a lot.
No, I went to the re-release.
Oh, okay. I mean, I assume it's just the same movie, but how was it?
It was nice. Not to be morbid, but it was on. Uh, it was on Valentine's Day, and I
Yeah, I feel like
originally
that would
planned.
be. I feel like that would be very depressing, to be honest.
Well, I've always loved the movie, and I originally planned like, oh, I'll buy the tickets, and by the time it comes around, I'll figure out someone to like bring with me, and then definitely kind of forgot about it. And then like 3 days before it showed, I was like, oh fuck, that's in like 3 days.
Yep.
And people were either busy or I had no interest to go with them or have them come with me, so I went alone. And again, the movie was still very enjoyable, and I went to the Grand down in Tacoma, so I
Yeah.
liked the theater. But it was kind of weird because literally, like, the entire audience was all couples, and then it's just me, like, hello.
Yeah.
Either way, yes, the movie's fantastic. If you've never seen it, it's really wonderful. It's
It's
very
very
like, it's very warm. I don't know. I've
good.
always liked it.
There was the Spaceman movie where it's Adam Sandler and a CGI giant spider, which I don't feel like you could pay me to watch that.
I did not realize. So I started this and I didn't
Oh
realize there was a
no.
CGI spider. And
Yep.
because again, I like isolated space movies about sad
Sure.
boys, which is.
Sure.
And then he started hearing a voice in his head. I was like, "Ooh, what is this?" And then they're like, "Oh, hey, here's a spider." I was like, "What the fuck?"
Right.
Dude, I was not expecting that at all. Like,
Yeah.
why couldn't they
Yeah.
pick literally anything else?
Let's see. There was the straight to Prime Video Ricky Stenicki with Zach Efron and John Cena.
And what's
Anthony,
whiskey? What's his name?
the ginger guy.
Yeah, Whiskey Ginger. One half of Bad Friends.
Yes, that
That
guy.
I can't think of his fucking name now.
He's
Either
not the
way,
Asian one. That guy.
no, he's not Bobby Lee. No, Bobby Lee and whatever. Either way, I heard it was dumb, but maybe kind of fun. I bet.
Yeah, yeah. I've not gone out to watch it. Clearly. Then we had Millie Bobby Brown's Damsel, which I'd heard was terrible.
It looked well. Again, we are not the target audience, but yes, it did not look good.
Love Lies Bleeding. Didn't watch it. Looked weird.
So the cinematography of it, of like the bit that I saw because I did not finish it,
Sure.
was pretty cool, but there was so much like hardcore lesbian sex that I was not expecting.
I had heard that too.
Wow.
Yes.
And okay, so let me set the stage. I did not really know what I was getting myself into. This is noon on like a Tuesday. I'm at the dining room table making myself lunch, and I put
Yep.
this on. And again, like the trailers and stuff, I'm like, okay, like muscle mommies and like Ed Harris as like kind of a evil bad guy, and there's
I will
drug
pay you
stuff.
to never use that phrase again.
What? Ed Harris?
Yeah, Ed Harris. I hate him, clearly.
I mean, he's been around. Plays a good bad guy. Dude, muscle mommies, dude. They're a thing. Dude, throw me around like a rag doll.
Listen, I agree with you, but that phrase is so cringy.
Either way, but yeah, like 20 minutes in, and also Kirsten Stewart, who just cannot fucking act or emote at all. Ugh. Anyway,
I don't want to get into the Kristen Stewart debate.
can you imagine if she and Keanu Reeves, like, oh my God. Sorry, yes,
Yeah.
that's pretty much as far as I got when they were like hardcore going at it. I was like, all right, I gotta turn this off. This is fucking weird.
Well, another thing that was fucking weird and that no one watched for good reason, the American Society of Magical N-Words.
Yeah, like again, who's asking for this?
Right? Like who is this for?
Granted, it's
Clearly,
also
not for me and you.
the main character is one of
Justice
my
Smith.
he's one of my least favorite actors working today. Like everything I've ever seen him
He's always playing the same guy.
I always dislike him.
Yeah.
Not just his character, but like his actual ability to act.
Yeah, I don't like him either. Let's see. Then we had Roadhouse, as you say.
Super fun. Would recommend.
Ghostbusters, unfortunately.
Pass. Get the fuck out of here.
The movie Immaculate, which I would like to watch eventually. It's a horror movie with Sydney Sweeney in it, where she's a nun.
Yes, yeah.
Then we have Kumiko the Treasure Hunter, which I would like to watch. It's an indie release.
Never
I
heard
haven't
of it.
gotten around. It just looks really odd and unique and interesting. And also I like the people who did the music for it. And then we have Late Night with the Devil, which I did see. That's a ton of fun. It's a really fun concept for a horror movie, and then they pulled it off with a very small budget. I really liked it.
Okay.
I'm just going movie by movie here. We had Godzilla. Some of these are just things that were released international markets, so I'm just kind of skipping them. There was Wicked Little Letters, which I ended up watching at the Grand. It was okay.
Which one? Sorry.
Wicked Little Letters. It's a British black comedy about two women sending hate mail to each other through the post. It was okay, not that great.
Okay. All right.
The First Omen, which was excellent. It's another horror movie. It's obviously a prequel to The Omen. It's really, really good. Not something you would enjoy, unfortunately. Let's see, the Dev Patel movie Monkey Man.
I saw that.
Oh, because I have not. What did you think?
So keep in mind this is his first time ever directing anything. For his debut, I thought it was really good. It's obviously a very personal story to him because it's very much from that part of the world.
Sure.
There was not enough monkey. Like the whole like him wearing the monkey mask and like all the like the backstory of that. I don't want to give too much away just in case anyone, including you, watch it. But like they could have used like 15 to 20% more monkey stuff.
Yeah.
It was
okay.
Some monkey and then a lot of like John Wick meets like the French Revolution where like the lower classes are like trying to fuck up the upper class people. I don't know.
Sure.
Like again, I gave it probably like a 3.5 out of 5. It was pretty fun, pretty good. But there's definitely not enough monkey.
All right. How about Civil War? It looked
it was
super mixed,
really good.
And I never got around to watching it.
I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. It is not at all what they marketed as.
That's what I heard. It looked like it looks like it's less about the actual war and more about how much we should all love reporters.
Well, it's definitely less about the war, but it's more about yes, it's about reporters and specifically photojournalists, which is one of the reasons after the movie that's when I originally bought my film camera because I'm very impressionable.
I wasn't going to say it, but since you've said it, I can now agree.
I'm fine with that. Like I'm impressionable, it's fine. But no, it was really good. And the way they did when there was action, super realistic. It felt like there's a scene and he's only in it for one scene, but Jesse Plemons, I don't know if you've seen this bit anywhere.
I've seen the bit where he's got the glasses
Holy
and he's
shit,
asking him,
dude.
What kind of an American are you?
Yes, dude. Again, it's like that. That's a great scene, but there's like throughout the movie, it's like that. It's really good.
Well, maybe I'll track it down.
because that is, I think it's Alex Garland, the one
It
who did,
is. I like his stuff a lot.
he did Ex Machina, right?
He did. He did Ex Machina
Annihilation.
and Annihilation, the first 28 Days Later,
Yes.
um, lots of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. If you have a chance, I would really recommend that. I think it might be on HBO Max right now.
I believe so. Yes. All right. Then we have Sasquatch Sunset, which I've yet to actually watch, but it looks weird as shit, and I want to watch something that is that strange.
I wanted to watch it, I just never got around to it.
Sure.
It looked very much like a IFC movie, and I am
Oh
totally fine
yes.
with that.
Oh yes. Well, then we have Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare here in the middle of April.
Which, if you want to know more about that, did we do a whole episode on that? I can't remember.
We did not. We briefly mentioned it in something else, but we didn't do a whole episode. I liked it. It's fun. It's certainly not Guy Ritchie's best, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I would say pretty much the exact same thing. Like, great cast. I like Guy Ritchie stuff as always. It could have been better, but no, it's a good time. And
Yeah.
I know that his next film, which is releasing in a couple months, is also again with Henry Cavill, so I'm looking forward to that.
What's come out in a couple months?
They have not done almost any marketing for it
As I
though
say,
yet,
I
which
can't
I'm
think of what you're talking about.
no, it's called In the Gray. It
I've
stars Henry
never heard
Cavill.
of it.
No, I know. I know. I don't know almost anything about it. I just know it's him and Henry Cavill again. But I think that comes out, yeah, in the next couple months. So we'll
I've
see.
never heard of it. That's
Hmm.
super weird.
I think it comes out in January, actually.
All right, we're now back into May. We already talked about Fall Guy. We went out and we saw the re-release of Phantom Menace, and we did have an episode on it. Um,
Although
let's
I think that's the
see.
one that was, I think, our first episode where a lot of it got cut off because we didn't really know how to record yet.
No, we were trying to use one mic, and it kept switching between the source, and it was not good.
Look how
Um,
far we've come, Hayden.
only slightly better. Let's see. I saw the TV Glow, which I would still like to give a chance and watch, but I think I might be alone in that.
I watched Unfrosted, which was
I was ab I
horrendous.
was I was literally about to mention it, saying I'd heard nothing but bad things about it, and I
Yeah,
hadn't
it
seen
was
it.
not good at all. And like the sheer amount of just random celebrities that just wanted to be in this, sure, but like it was not funny. It was not interesting. I don't know
Yeah.
why our parents liked it.
I think because they grew up with Jerry Seinfeld and they like it whatever he's in.
And I have so Seinfeld is one of those shows that I have binged a lot. I like the show, but this was nothing like that show. It was nothing like his stand up. It just wasn't
No.
good. It wasn't funny.
It di Even the clips I've seen didn't look good. Let's see, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, I really enjoyed that. Another
I
very
really
solid
enjoyed that
Planet of
too,
the Apes
actually.
movie.
Yes, I
Another
liked it a
very
lot.
solid. Yeah,
I hope they make more.
I'm sure they will. It made its money. Then we have the movie If, Imaginary Friend, which is
Looked horrendous.
looked horrendous, no one watched it. So, who knows? Maybe we're right. Anything else I recognize? Let's see. Middle of May, we got Furiosa.
I liked Furiosa.
I
I
did
think,
not.
well, hold on. Part of me really liked it. Part of me also sees just how much more cinematic and grand Fury Road was, but I am glad I saw it in a theater.
I enjoyed bits and pieces of it. I think because they very clearly tried to sell it on it will be another Fury Road movie, and it was definitely not. It's a lot more of a slower, more of a like a world building movie and a lot less of an action movie. I didn't enjoy it because of it. So maybe if I watched it again, I'd like it more. But I remember not being
I
all that
have been thinking about
thrilled with it.
rewatching it, to be honest, so yeah, I'd be
Well,
down.
that's on Max, I believe.
Okay, yeah, I'd be down to rewatch that.
Let's see. There's the Glenn Powell movie Hitman came to Netflix.
I saw that.
I'd like to watch it. It looks fun.
It was fun. It wasn't very good, but it
Mm,
was fun. It's I think it's Richard Linklater, right?
yes.
Who I
And
mean, I like his stuff.
I like his stuff generally, yeah. Let's see, there was a movie called Young Woman and the Sea with Daisy Ridley. Never heard of
Never
it?
heard of it.
Ba ba da ba
She has not
da.
done, I mean, granted, she doesn't need to do much stuff now, but she hasn't done much.
Well, and also
And
Disney keeps saying that, "Oh, we're gonna bring her back in the next
yes,
trilogy," and then they keep pushing
yes,
it off because all of their Star Wars projects don't do well, and so, yeah, I
yes.
I don't know.
I mean, I hope she does more Star Wars. I liked her as Rey.
Her portrayal of Rey was not my problem with those movies.
Well, most people like. I mean, this is again a whole separate conversation, but I didn't. Most of my problem was not with anyone's portrayal of any of the characters.
It was just the writing structure
It
in
was literally
general.
just the writing and the way they chose to take the story. It was really only my only problem. But
Again,
it's such a big
somehow
problem.
Palpatine returned.
Yeah. No, I know. I know.
It's so bad it's become a meme. Yes.
Yes.
Um, in a Violent Nature, which I really liked, but probably not for you. It's a horror movie, but it's from the perspective of the unknown slasher. So it's a lot of just him walking around in nature, admiring birds, and then comes across a hiker, and then he'll, dissect them with a hook. But it's back to him walking around in nature, enjoying looking at trees and stuff. It's a very odd movie, but I liked how it was very original in that respect.
Okay.
Let's see. Then we're now into June. We have Bad Boys Ride or Die,
Why do
which
they keep
I
making these? Who's
they
again?
make
Who is?
boatloads of money.
And
Like, granted,
I know they do, and I don't get it.
I feel like these
I know the
are,
originals. The originals were like a big thing.
yeah. I mean, and that's why they're still making money, because people still love the originals from the '90s, so they keep going to this one.
But I mean, Will Smith looks pretty good for his age. But what's his name? The other
Oh, Martin
guy,
Lawrence does not.
dude. He looks fucking
He
like
looks
Mr.
bad.
Potato Head. He looks bad.
He does, yes. So let's see. There was that. There was a Dakota Fanning movie called The Watchers, which was made by
Wasn't
M.
that
Night
M Night
Shyamalan's.
Shyamalan?
Yeah, it's made by his daughter. It was in and out of theaters in like a single weekend. It was not, probably didn't do very well, so I didn't go out to see it. Inside Out 2 came out and made literally $2 billion at the box office,
Which is wild.
which is nuts. Like, that's insane. But like, the original one, I know has a huge following and people love it. It didn't land very well with me. I mean, it was fine. I
It
didn't
was
come away
good.
like, you know, rabbit out the mouth, need to watch a second one multiple times in theaters good though. So I didn't go out and watch this.
No, me neither. But again, we're not the target
Um,
audience.
that's very true. Let's see. The Bike Riders, which you
I like the
watched.
bike riders.
I'd like to watch it. Is it a good drama at least?
Um,
Or is it
yes
just a
and
lot of Austin Butler still trying to act like Elvis?
so he is the only. I actually think he's the only part of the movie that doesn't work. Hold on, actually, I think I wrote specifically about this. Yes, the good, the soundtrack, Jodie, Tom Hardy, the outfits, the bikes, Michael Shannon, the guy from The Walking Dead. Literally everyone else is good. Every
Yeah,
other part of this is good. The bad, Austin Butler 100% looked the part, like he looked like he belonged in that era. I get
sure.
the casting. He did this whole sultry, subdued, like not going to emote or anything bit that lost me though. And I know
Yeah.
it's part of his character, but it felt so like I fell asleep so much around his just anytime he was on screen. Tom Hardy, like actually, again, there's he is as he's as subtle as Austin Butler is, but you can still see that there's depth to him.
Sure.
I don't know. I liked it. I didn't love it. Did you ever see Legend with Tom Hardy?
Yes. Where he's
It
playing two of
felt
them?
yes. It felt actually it felt very similar to that where
Okay. I mean,
it's a period
I do
piece.
like that movie.
Okay. Yes.
So
That's
there was
kind of how I'd
that.
say it.
There was the incredibly strange Russell Crowe horror movie called The Exorcism, which looked bad and miscast, and I did not watch it.
Yeah, I don't know what that guy's doing. I don't understand it.
We have Horizon, an American Saga
Oh, the
Part
like
1.
4 hour thing that got a long standing ovation, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm going to release more of them," and then it did terribly.
It died in theaters, and
Yes,
his production company pulled them out of theaters after like one
yes,
weekend.
yes.
Yep, didn't watch it, to the shock of no one.
I want to like westerns though. I will say, like, I like westerns. I want more westerns.
I want more westerns. I just want them to be good.
Yeah, like they don't have to be 3 hours.
No, or
Uh,
yeah,
yeah, like there are. I don't know. I think of like 310 to Yuma or even bits of Bone Tomahawk.
I don't even mind if it's long. I just don't want it to feel like my time's being wasted. Like if it's 4 hours and there is stuff happening,
Sure.
fine.
Wait, are you talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League, dude?
Yes,
4 hours. Stuff's happening? Crazy.
I I love that movie, and I watched it in black and white. It's still great.
I have not gone around to Justice is Gray or whatever, the black
It's
and white version.
it's still good, and it just shows you that for all of Zack Snyder's perhaps writing flaws sometimes, the dude knows how to shoot a movie.
Yes, I I love that I was like around on the internet for like the buildup of like getting
Yes.
that released. It was so
Getting
cool, honestly. It was so
getting the
cool.
Snyder Cut released by mob vote was a
Yes.
very weird time on the internet.
Well, like I loved all the like I don't know if you saw, but all the like cryptic posts and photos that he would show of like,
Oh,
oh, this
yeah.
is was so cool. No, I loved that
Mhm.
shit, dude.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, the whole movie itself, yeah,
I mean, it's good, but it
it's
is
good.
we'll never get another one, unfortunately.
No, and like I kind of see why long term it doesn't make sense.
No, because they kill off half the cast.
Well, yeah, well, guess, and I know that they were like building up towards Flashpoint for it to actually make sense instead of trying to push Flashpoint
Into
during
the
the actual
Flash.
yeah, which was such a god that movie was like horrendous. And I remember the hype for that, like they were even
There
like,
was
oh,
no hype
To-
for that.
well, no, I remember even like Tom Cruise was like again they quoted him saying like, oh, he saw it and said he saw the movie and had said that this was like the kind of movie the world needs right now. I don't know
It's
if he
also
actually said that, but just
it's not
Jesus.
a good sign that James Gunn, when trying to promote that movie, said, "Oh, this is the best superhero movie I've ever seen." Ugh,
Yeah.
it's a quote that's gonna live forever, unfortunately for him. All right,
Either
still
way, I
in
don't know where we
June.
were, but
We are
June?
still in
Yeah.
the very tail end of June. We got A Quiet Place Day 1.
But quite I did not see Quiet Place Day 1.
I really, really enjoyed it. It was an interesting take to where it's more about um Lupita Nyong'o's character's like emotional journey and less about them surviving an alien invasion. Like, yes, there is an alien invasion, but it's a lot more about her grieving the death of her father. And I thought it was very good, but it is certainly different than the first two. All right, then we're roaring into July 3rd with Despicable Me 4 and Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. Did not see either one.
Did not see either one, had no interest in seeing either one.
Maxine with three X's, which is the third and final
I
installment in
don't
Ty
care.
West's trilogy. I saw it. I liked it. I liked the other two. I thought it was good.
Just saying.
Okay, I liked it. Duncan didn't watch it. So we got July 12th. We had Fly Me to the Moon, which I didn't watch, but it looked okay.
My parents, our parents went and saw it and said they really liked it. We showed it for a like short period at my work. It looked fun. It did not look very like, for lack of a better word, surprising. It looked like something you could probably tell exactly what was going to happen the whole time.
Yes. Let's
But I mean, I
see.
like again, I like space stuff. I like Scarlett Johansson, and for the most part, I generally like Channing Tatum.
Yeah,
So,
I think
and
he
I
should
like
pick his projects a little better, but yes.
maybe I like retro, 50s, 60s stuff for sure. So
Sure.
maybe at some point I'll see it.
Let's see. Then we had Long Legs, which you did not watch. I watched it. I loved it. It's a really good atmospheric, tension-filled horror movie. I really, really liked it. Then we had Sing Sing, which I have not seen, but I know it's up for several awards this year.
Oh, that's the one with God.
Coleman Domingo.
Yes, thank you. I can envision his face and I can't think of his name.
I'm not even sure what it's about. I think it's about like prisoners or something. I don't know.
I thought it was about like a writing class or something. I don't know.
Let me just quickly look. Oh my god, that's such a big synopsis. I'm not reading that.
No,
All
don't worry
right.
about it. We didn't see it, doesn't
Sorry.
matter.
Yeah.
If you watched it and you liked it, tell us.
July 19th, we got Twisters, which me and you actually saw in theater. I really liked it. I think it's a good movie.
So okay. I liked it.
I mean, I didn't love it, but
I
it's
didn't
fine.
love it. And I would also say I think you and I both maybe referenced this prior, but I think Glenn Powell is a little too charming. Maybe
Possibly
he's just
so.
well, I think he's like this generation's Tom Cruise kind of thing, which
It certainly is setting him up that way.
yes, I love what's her name? God,
Daisy Edgar Jones.
thank you. I like her a lot. I feel kind of bad for I think maybe it's just his agent or if it's him choosing these roles, but Anthony Ramos, I
Yeah,
like him, but I always feel like he's choosing these like second tier movie roles. Like he's not the guy. He's
he
never
needs to
the
choose a
guy.
movie where his character isn't cucked, essentially.
Yes. Like he was the main in The Heights, which I've seen several
Mhm.
times. I like the music. I like him in it. That's one of the
Same
reasons
here.
why I like him, where he's actually gets to be the guy. But yeah, I feel like he needs more of that and not
Sure.
just musicals based around his heritage.
Sure, sure, sure. Let's see what else came out. July 26th, we had Deadpool and Wolverine, which I think both me and you really liked.
Well, okay, if you look at it objectively, yes, I very much enjoyed it.
Like
The
it's
s-
it's a goofy, silly movie, but I do like
yes, the
how much of a
story is
love letter to the fans it is, though.
yes, yes. If you take it for that, if you look at it like narratively, the story's kind of not there's not a whole
There's
lot
no
going on there.
story. There's no story.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like it's fun, especially for like comic book nerdy people like us, but if you were like a I don't want to say snooty movie person, but like if you came in looking for something that's really gonna like have some deep impact beats, I don't know. It just
If you came in expecting it to not be a Deadpool movie, you would not enjoy it.
correct. And I think it was the right movie to come out at the right to like middle of the summer. Like that was the biggest movie.
Let's see. We're now roaring into August. We have Harold and the Purple Crayon, a movie that was so bad Netflix said no, which and they'll buy any property. We have M Night Shyamalan's Trap, which I would still like to watch. I've heard
I've
decent
heard
things
good
about it,
things. I've
but
heard
I
good
haven't gotten
things.
around to it.
And I feel like that helped me remember what's his name? The main guy in that. Uh
Can't remember what his name
Josh.
is.
Is it Josh? What's his fucking name? Uh,
Josh Hartnett.
Thank you. Yes, Josh Hartnett. He used to be like the guy, one of those guys, like one of the heartthrobby, like going to be a big thing, and then kind of
Yeah.
disappeared for a while.
I mean,
When this
I've
was,
heard good things about it, but I do
oh
know
yeah,
I've also heard some bad things about it, so who knows?
yes. When this came out, though, it made me think of him, and then some friends recommended. There's an episode of Black Mirror that he's in that's really good.
Yes, yes, it is.
Yeah, just
Which, by the
I'm
way,
glad.
if you've never watched any Black Mirror, cannot recommend that enough if you want to watch just some really uncomfortable, trippy shit.
Yeah, I've only seen probably 4 episodes, maybe, but I've liked all the ones I've seen, but they are a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
There's a few episodes that I haven't seen that I would like to watch. I know there's a Star Trek kind of one that is very like
With
well
Jesse
known.
Plemons, yes.
Yes, yes, I'd like to see that at some point.
It also has frickin' what's her name from The Penguin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that's her. It looks very similar to her.
Okay.
I don't know, might be wrong. So that's August. We already talked about Rebel Moon. They made another SpongeBob movie that went straight to Netflix that I'd never heard of.
Again, we are so far not the audience of that, which
Well,
is just
yeah.
kind of sad.
I don't know. I think that's okay.
No, no, it's
I think
okay.
if
It's just I don't know.
I was still the audience of SpongeBob, there'd be problems there,
Yeah, there's some
either with
people that
me
I
or with
know.
that studio.
There's some people that I know who are like they are stuck in that era. They're like, "Oh, did you see the new like that kind of movie?" And I'm like, "No, dude, because I'm not 8."
Yeah, well, oh well.
And I'm not saying I'm not trying to shit on someone who still has like a childlike sense of wonder or creativity or whatever the fuck you want to say that is, but like
That is not what that is.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
Either way. Anyway, sorry, continue.
We had the historically bad Borderlands movie come out on August 9th,
Oh yeah.
which
Oof.
is so awful it literally might close down Lionsgate as a production company.
Potentially. And it's weird cuz so many big names were in like big names.
And they're and every single one of them are miscast. It's almost impressive.
Even Jack Black as the Clackbox thing,
Yes,
box,
because
whatever.
because
We don't have to go into it. Just say yes or no. That's all.
that's yes, he's miscast because even in the game, that character is just a robot. He never becomes human. They could have just gotten the voice actor from the game.
Yes.
It doesn't make any yeah, it's not good. August 16th, we had Alien Romulus, which I love. I think it's probably my favorite movie that came out this year. But then again,
Really?
I'm a big Alien fan, man. I mean,
Favorite
when
movie
we
this year?
I think so.
Okay. All right.
I mean, what's been your favorite movie of the year?
Well, hold on. Let's get to the end of we're only
Okay,
half.
okay.
We're only like three
We're
quarters
like
of the way
halfway through.
through.
Okay, so that was August 16th. I loved it. You didn't watch it. That's okay. Blah, 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 blah. I don't recognize any of this. We had Blink Twice, which looked interesting, but it was gone out of theaters pretty quick.
I heard good things, but yeah, it was pretty quick in and out.
There was the god awful The Crow remake, which was another horrible release for Lionsgate.
Oh, that's right, with Skarsgård. Even though, yeah, it was yeah, it's supposed to be
Hmm.
horrible.
Yep, they re-released the Batman in August 28th. I didn't know that.
Didn't know that either. Although they just also did just announce that we have to wait till 2027.
2027. I
Dude,
fully believe that James Gunn is going to use this delay to cancel it.
I mean, I hope not. But
I,
B,
I hope not too.
even if they do, like if we only got one, at least that one was pretty fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, it's excellent.
Although I wonder if it's also like, oh, what's his name? Matt Reeves maybe wants it to get canceled because he's like, okay, the first one was so good, I don't want to make something that's inferior to the first one.
Well, Matt Reeves is also very well known for wanting to be a perfectionist with his scripts and never wanting to finish them. Like he will retool something until he feels like it's perfect. So it could very well be that he just hasn't finished. But that's neither here nor there. We are now well into September, and that was when Beetlejuice released.
Which again was very popular at my work. Lots of people went to see it. I have no interest.
I had no interest in watching that. I like the original Beetlejuice. I don't love it. I don't love it enough to want to go see a sequel, which doesn't need to exist.
I
Um,
don't care.
no. Let's see. Then we had Speak No Evil, which was a James McAvoy thriller, which
I've heard he's supposed to be a pretty intense in that.
I've heard he's kind of the only good part about that movie. The rest of it's just okay.
Sure. Well, I mean, it's his movie.
Sure. Let's see. We had The Substance come out in September the 20th, which I would still like to watch. I've heard nothing but rave reviews about it, but it is definitely going to be a body horror movie, so that's probably not going to be for everyone.
Yeah, I will probably pass.
That's probably fine. We had Transformers 1 come out, and I know lots of the internet loved it. I'm not a huge Transformers fan, so I didn't go to watch this.
Well, I know a lot of the internet or whoever you want to say loved it, but I don't like the whole like making them look like a toy
Well,
or
they
make
are
them look like
toys.
well, no, I know and like making them look like the animation from like the 90s like cartoon. I don't like it. It looks too kiddie. I liked granted I was a younger kid at this, but I really liked for what it was,
Oh yeah.
the
I mean, I would
first
say
probably
the first
3.
3 the
Yeah.
first 3 Michael Bay movies
We're
are
dope.
definitely of their period, but they're
But they're
still
fun, dude.
fun.
They're dope.
Yeah. Let's see. Whiplash was re-released. I didn't go out
Fucking
to watch it.
sick. I didn't
Sure,
see
sure.
it, but I love that movie.
I know. The Sebastian Stan movie, A Different Man, came out,
I
which I
know
would be
of it,
interested in
but
watching, but I didn't go out to watch it.
well, didn't he release that and his Trump
No, the
movie at
Trump
like the
movie got put
same
out in like November,
Okay.
and
Sorry,
it
continue.
kind of died on release, unfortunately for him. Let's see. We speaking of dying on release, Megalopolis comes out September the 27th.
I'd still at some point like to see that.
I mean, I would like to see it too, just for the whole experience of just
Yes.
the unmitigated shit show that I've heard it is.
Well, just the again, it's the I feel like you and I have had this conversation several times of like the whole like creative control versus like corporate like overlording.
Yeah.
Like this is so far on one side of the spectrum because it is such a passion project. for
But on
Coppola.
some level, you might need someone to tell you no every once in a while.
Exactly, but I would be interested to see it because it's like it's whatever you want to do.
Sure.
Let's go
Also,
back to the club.
yeah, we've all seen that clip.
It's so good.
It's so bad though. All right. Anyway, we also had The Wild Robot come out, and I know critics loved it, and I think it did well audience-wise. It looked very kiddie to me. I didn't go
Well,
to see
it's
it.
really kiddie. We showed it for like 4 days at my work,
Yeah.
but like when I was setting it up, so when I set up a movie, I'm like adjusting sound and aspect ratios and stuff like that. It looked stunning, like it looked
Oh, yeah, I
beautiful.
mean, the visuals look really creative and interesting. I just a robot learning to be a mother to to woodland animals doesn't sound that interesting.
No, but yeah, if you were an adult, you're going for, at least I would go for the visuals, if nothing else.
Yeah, yeah. All right, and then we also had Asriel, which is a low budget survival movie with
Never heard of it.
Samara Weaving. I've heard it's decent.
Hmm.
The girl from
No, yeah.
Ready
From
or Not.
Ready or Not.
I've heard it's decent. I know it was made for all of like $5, so
Okay. All
yeah.
right.
I mean, I would like to watch it eventually. I didn't see it. Let's see, Saturday Night came out as well, which
We showed that, and apparently, like,
I'm sure it's good, but that's part of the I'm not that target audience. I don't know
exactly,
what about it
exactly,
appeals to me. Yeah.
because it is set like every minute of the movie is a minute before showtime, which I thought was actually really cool. So
Which is interesting. Yeah.
there is a certain like pace to it that I really like, and I, yeah, I just
I
wish I
feel like I would
was.
have to be like obsessed with that part of Saturday Night Live history for me to
Well,
get
yeah,
anything
either
out of it though.
obsessed with that part of history or just alive for that part of history,
Sure. Sure.
which neither of us were.
All right, we are now into October. We had the remake of Salem's Lot come to HBO Max, which I watched. I liked it. I don't know if it's better than the original one from like the 80s, but it's essentially the same story. You have vampires. It's a Stephen King adaptation. It's decently fun. We had Joker Folie à Deux and
Which we talked about this. I feel like
steaming
I
pile of crap that it is.
were there were hints of something good in there.
It could have been good and it wasn't.
What do you remember what episode because we talked about that quite a bit on one episode, but we didn't do a whole episode on it.
I don't remember.
Folks, if you're listening, if you're new or if you're not, obviously if you're not new, you probably remember us talking about this, but if you want to hear quite a bit of conversation about this, I feel like this was probably, well, if you look back whenever that time that it came out, this would have been around October,
The
November
first
time.
first well, I know it came out in October, but we ended up watching it at your work when it was just about finished with its run. So it was probably at the end of October.
We watched it on October 28th. So the day before we watched that, we posted Madam Web. Oh, and then let's see. So it was probably when we were talking either about maybe Comet on November 5th,
Probably so.
is my guess.
Probably
So yeah, if you want a in-depth or at least semi more in-depth about the shit show or sometimes not shit show of Joker, check out Comet, which is episode 21. 21 of
What's
of
not
that.
supposed
So
to
yeah, look back at that.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I took the time to do all of that. Jesus Christ.
It's so important, I know. All right. Yada yada yada. VHS Beyond release, which I would love to watch. I like the VHS series, but I don't want to pay for Shudder, so I haven't watched it. Hellboy: The Crooked Man, heard nothing but horrible things about. Did not
Which is
watch.
kind of, I don't know, kind of
Which
sad.
is a shame.
Because I know it was a much smaller budget than previous Hellboys, and I know the one prior was so bad.
Was
I remember
horrendous. Yeah.
you had it, like I got into the parents' house for something and you had it on.
I made the
Oof.
mistake of watching it, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it. The prosthetics, the mask,
it's rough. We can always remember how good the first two were with Del Toro.
they're not just Del Toro, it's freaking Ron Perlman.
I mean, the whole cast is excellent.
Yes. Well, it was also a kind of a superhero movie before superhero movies.
In a lot of ways, yes. All right, we have, let's see, Nightmare Before Christmas was re-released, which I did not go out to watch, although I had planned on it.
Could not
We
care
have
less.
the Pharrell biopic, which is also an animated Lego movie called Piece by Piece.
Again,
Had no interest in it.
I was kind of confused. Is it about him or is it just about like hip hop and like music producer? Because it
It's
felt like
it's
it was not
it's
just
about
about him.
his life as
Okay.
told by other people in the industry.
Okay. I remember
Very
some of the
strange.
marketing that I saw for that was kind of odd.
Yeah. Terrifier 3, I don't like that franchise. I didn't watch it. We just mentioned this a couple minutes ago, but The Apprentice was released as well. Haven't seen it.
I probably won't.
Let's see. We Live in Time. It doesn't look that good. It just looks like a fairly average rom com, just with nice production values.
Yeah, I mean, I think yeah, I mean, yes, that's true, but granted I haven't seen it and I will probably only see it if someone that like a friend of mine wants to see, you know? Just saying like Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield, I they both know how to act, so I think and I mean, I don't know, I've heard good things. I don't know if I'll actually actively try to watch it, but if it comes up, it comes up.
I've heard it's okay. I don't know if that's worth my time though. Alrighty, October 18th, my birthday, Smile 2 was released. I did go out and watch it. I really liked it. I think it's a vast improvement on the first one. Even though it's kind of the same story, they just do a lot more interesting things with the visuals. It's a lot scarier in general. You didn't watch it, I assume.
I can't I don't even maybe I saw the first one or at least bits and
You
pieces,
probably did not.
but yeah, I had no interest in seeing the second one at all.
Well, I mean, you're not a horror movie guy. That's okay.
But I know that it got buzz for it because it was Jack Nicholson's son,
Yes, he has a
right?
bit role.
Hmm. I didn't know he had a son,
hmm
but yeah.
Also, Naomi Harris, who plays the main character in Smile 2, fucking kills it. She is great in that, just playing a character who is continually more and more like paranoid and crazy. It's she kills it. And I think she would actually make a good Harley Quinn if they ever want to recast Margot Robbie. Let's see. We have
Yeah, I don't know
Honora,
what the
which I
fuck they're gonna
know
do with Margot Robbie, and yeah, we've talked about this. Sorry, continue.
so much of that is up in the air. And that's beating a dead horse to circle back around to it. All right, we have Honora, which I know is up for a couple awards, but I don't have any interest in the plot.
I'd like to see it because there's so much buzz about it, and some of the stills that I've seen from it, again, look
Like
really pretty.
it looks like it's been shot well. The plot, as far as I understand, it doesn't sound that interesting.
We'll see. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't. Yeah, again, I'm not like racing to see it, but I would say it's on a watch list, but it's not. If I don't watch it, I think I'll be okay.
sure. Let's see. We had Conclave, which again has a lot of award buzz, but as far as I understand it, it's a pretty dry, word-heavy drama. Which, unless you're Catholic, you might not get much out of.
We showed it, and again, did very well at my work. And it's
Okay.
like everyone who came out said it was really good. But yes, they everyone agreed was like, oh, this is you're there to hear people talk to each other,
Yes.
and that's kind of it. Some of the like the parts that when I either set it up or peeked in or whatever, like visually fairly well shot. Like at least the framing of everything was nice.
Yeah.
It felt professional, for lack of a better word.
Let's see. Saw got its re-release to theaters. I love Saw. I went out and I watched it in theaters. It was great. I'm gonna go ahead and say you did not watch it.
I know it's like one of those things that like I don't know, it's almost like part of society now. At least everyone knows of it. But man, I could you I'm not saying you couldn't pay me to watch it, but like that feels like
Well,
to me
it is
wasting
it
my
is
time.
it is a huge like leap to try and get into that kind of a movie. It is 1,000% not for everyone, and it's not something I would force anyone to sit through if they don't want to watch it by association. Like it is a singular kind of audience. Let's see.
All
We
right,
are
what's
now
next?
into November.
Flying by.
Godzilla minus one, which I've heard nothing but good things about, but I've yet to watch. Which is weird
I
because I,
saw
I I
it.
like Godzilla.
I saw it and the Godzilla parts were good. They did a different thing with him where he's more like a little more grotesque, a little more like bubbly looking.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
But
it's a Japanese version.
Yes, and I don't know if it strikes the right balance of like monster stuff and human stuff because again, there's a lot of human stuff that I could not get invested in.
That's fair. That's fair.
Whereas like uh Godzilla Kong is the other side where it's like stupid big things punching each other, which sometimes is cool, but it's also like it's stupid. I don't know where the right middle ground is. I haven't seen it, but I'd like to see Shin Godzilla. I don't know anything about it. I only know that the poster's really fucking cool.
I own Shin Godzilla. It's fucking incredible.
Okay, because I've only seen the poster, and the poster's
If
fucking cool, dude.
if you would ever like to watch it, I would take that down to the parents. You can stop by my apartment. It is really, really good.
Okay, maybe we'll do that as an episode at some point.
It's done by the people who did Neon Genesis Evangelion, which
Oh, of
if you
course,
know
yeah.
what that is,
Totally.
it's that kind of a tone. It is really, really good. Let's see, the Tom Hanks Robin Wright movie called Here, which
Which
kind of died on
supposedly did
arrival.
terribly. It's them like growing up in the same scene, and uh
From a cinema camera
everyone.
angle for 2 hours, yes,
Yes, which I think it was
is an
George
interesting
Miller
choice.
who referenced it where
No,
like
it's a Robert Zemeckis movie.
no. What I'm saying is George Miller was talking about how movies are movement. Like there needs to be there
That's a good
people
point.
need to move around. Action needs to happen, even if it's a drama.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just yeah, that sounds like such a snooze fest.
Juror number 2, which sounds interesting and I would like to watch, but
Yeah,
I think
same.
it's left theaters fairly quickly, unfortunately.
Which
And
it
now that
sounds
we're
like
in
it might
November,
be
we're getting,
Clint Eastwood's last movie.
which I would understand, but is a shame because it's Clint Eastwood.
It's a shame, but also I'm like, dude, you're like in your 90s.
Yeah, so now that we're in November, we're getting towards Oscar bait stuff, so we're gonna get a lot of bigger quote unquote movies like Blitz with it's a Steve McQueen movie. It's about London being bombed. It's supposed to
Yes,
be very good, but it's Apple TV and I don't want to pay for Apple TV. Um
also fair.
just like we went out and we watched A Real Pain at the Grand, which we liked it,
Which I liked a
but we
lot.
didn't
I
love
liked
it.
it a lot. I liked it.
I think I was sold something that was going to be funnier and it's not that.
I mean, there were funny bits I mean, granted, folks, if you're interested, again, we did an entire episode on this, which
Yes, we did.
is, hold on, we just did it. Episode 25. It's only a few weeks, or I mean, granted, at this point, it's probably about a month ago. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. You can listen to that if you want to hear our full thoughts.
All right. We have November the 8th. We get The Best Christmas Pageant Ever, which I've heard it's a good family movie, but it didn't seem that interesting to me. We also had Heretic, which I've heard it is a good psychological thriller, and I'd like to watch that eventually. Did you ever see it?
I've heard, I didn't, but I've heard Hugh Grant is actually really good in it.
Yeah.
I
I
like
like things
when
like, when comedy actors get to act.
yes, when people who are just anything against type, I usually like.
You can get things like, Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind or, Goodwill Hunting. Okay, we also get Small Things Like These, which is a Killian Murphy movie, also
I
Oscar
I
bait.
I I heard it. I know he's in it. I know nothing about it, and I know it's definitely feels like Oscar Beatty, and I don't really care actually, even though I love him.
Yeah. Just like the movie Amelia Perez, I know is Oscar baity and just on concept doesn't sound all that interesting to me. It's about a
I feel like the director
transgender
of that.
drug lord in Mexico.
Hold on, I feel like the director of that did something else that I watched recently. What was it? The Sisters Brothers, that one with Joaquin Phoenix and
Oh,
John
sure,
C.
sure, sure.
Riley that I was kind of underwhelmed with.
Hmm.
Yeah. Meh. Okay. All right.
Meh, meh, meh. Yep. We are November 15th now. We got Red One, which looked awful.
And again, I don't know why the parents saw it and they said they actually kind of liked it. I'm like, dude, what?
They paid money for it in theaters. I don't know why. I'm glad they enjoyed it.
Sure. I also I don't think I have talked to anyone in recent memory period who isn't tired of The Rock. Like
I mean, that's
everyone
kind of
I
why I
know
don't want to
is
watch it.
tired of The Rock.
All right, November 22nd, we got Gladiator 2 and Wicked Part 1.
Saw neither. wanted to see Gladiator, and I still want to see Gladiator, but I don't think it's in theaters anymore.
I'd like to watch Gladiator eventually. I don't know. I think this is something I mentioned like 4 or 5 times now on this podcast. But Gladiator One is like a
Almost
perfect movie
basically
to
a
me,
perfect movie, yeah.
and I don't know if I want to watch the second one if it's going to sully my opinion of it.
Well, just I would say take the second one as the second one and not looking at it including the first. Like
I
I hope
suppose.
yes, I would also like to see it.
Let's see. We're up a tail end in November now when we get Moana 2. Looked
Which
bad,
again apparently did
reviewed to be
amazing
bad.
numbers.
I mean, it's Moana 2. People are going to go out and watch it, but from what I've heard, it is a little soulless compared to the first one.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like a cash grab because like I feel like the story was pretty complete.
It really does. Yeah. All right. There's the Jack Black kind of comedy called Dear Santa, where he plays Satan as a Christmas
Oh
movie.
yes,
Yeah, I'm good, I think. The Daniel Craig movie called Queer, which I have no interest in watching.
that definitely feels Oscar baity. I don't think
Oh,
I'll watch it,
well, yeah.
but again, I am glad that he is doing. He wasn't just stuck in
I'm
one
I'm,
role
I'm glad
forever, and he's only known as that
yeah,
role.
I'm yes. Let's see. Some more stuff I've never heard of that is just international releases. Let's see. December the 6th, Interstellar gets re-released, which love that movie. Also, Night Bitch comes out, which just seems like an insane movie.
Is that the one with Amy Adams?
Yes.
What is it about? I don't really get it. It's just her. She's a mom, right?
And I'm as far as I know, it's about her being a stay-at-home mom and then either starts to have the delusion or she actually is turning into a dog and she goes on night runs with neighborhood stray dogs.
Okay, fucking weird. Got it.
Right? Very, very weird. Y2K was released to very middling reviews, but it still could be
Looks like
fun. I'd
it
like to
looks like
watch it.
dumb fun. Yeah,
It
yeah.
does. The very low budget werewolf movie, simply called Werewolves, with Frank Grillo, was released. And I like me some low budget horror, so I'd like to watch that eventually.
I feel like he does a ton of low budget movies, like a lot.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know. It looks like he's having fun. Why not?
Just I've seen him on so many. Like if you walk by a Red Box, if you ever see a Red Box anymore,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
he's like in like 10 movies.
Yeah, yeah.
But hey, I mean, he's a working actor, so
Okay.
good for him.
There's an Angelina Jolie movie called Maria, was released December the 11th. I
Oh
don't know what
yeah,
it's about, but it looks like it's competently shot at the very least.
sure. Well, I mean, she does not really do almost anything anymore.
I feel like if you're Angelina Jolie, you don't need to.
Well, no, you don't need to, and I think she also is like big on other like charitable works that she does,
Yes.
which is cool. And I'm glad that she's also not trying to be the like, oh, I'm still trying to be Laura Croft vibes
Yeah.
when I'm like 50.
Unfortunately, December the 13th saw the release of Craven the Hunter, which
I would,
I would like to watch that in the same way that I wanted to watch Madam Web because I know it's going
yes,
to be
yes,
horrendous
yes, that's exactly how I feel. I would be down to watch that in the
on a
same
streaming
vein.
service. I don't know if I would pay money for it.
If it's Sony, I don't know where that's gonna go then.
If they want to disown it, it'll probably go to Netflix.
Probably to Netflix, that's right.
Let's see, Lord of the Rings, War of the Rohirrim apparently was not good, and it's another one of those who was asking for this.
From what I heard, the animation and everything was pretty cool, but the story was kind of meh.
We literally had this exact same conversation last episode, so
Well,
no need to circle around. But again, eh.
meh. Okay,
Um,
next.
the Taron Egerton movie, Carry On for Netflix, where he plays.
The TSA
Uh,
agent, yeah.
yes, looks interesting. Haven't watched it.
Well, because again, I like him and I like what's his name? Jason Bateman.
Yes, I agree. I
So
think
yeah,
Jason
I think
Bateman is one of those actors that plays a very believable everyman, and I think he's pretty good at that role and in everything.
I think I'll probably watch that before the year. Maybe I'll put that on at some point.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Let's see. We have The Last Showgirl, which is supposed to be good. It's kind of like an A24 thing about.
Never heard of it.
It's a Pamela Anderson movie where she's trying to act.
Oh.
It's been getting good reviews. It's not something I'm, running out the door to watch. December the 20th, we are getting up to where we're at in the calendar already. We had Mufasa, the Lion King prequel, which is not good from what I hear.
Eh,
And My Goat, Sonic the 3, came out the same day, absolutely destroyed Mufasa. It's a good movie. Also, there was a limited release for The Brutalist, which I would like to watch.
I don't need to sit there and feel sad for 4 hours, dude.
If it's a well-made, sad 4 hours, I can tolerate it. We'll see.
I'm sure it will be.
Just like there's a new version of Count of Monte Cristo, which might be decent.
I literally just today saw some stills from that look pretty cool,
Yeah.
but I think it's in I don't think it's English. I think is it
It's
Spanish
it's in French.
or French? Okay.
I like that story just in general. I would like to see it done well a second time. Who knows? Might be decent. The weird Nicole Kidman cougar movie, Baby Girl,
Oh,
came out the 25th, which I'm not gonna touch that movie. That seems super weird and kind of porny. I don't
yeah,
wanna
it
watch.
seems kind
Yeah,
of a yeah. I don't know how to feel about that.
I agree. A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan movie that we referenced earlier in the episode, also came out the same day. Again, who is this for? Nosferatu also came out Christmas Day. I've heard good things, but that's a select audience that are gonna watch that, and that might not include everyone.
Yeah, that seems like a very much like a yeah, just a very specific audience. Whereas again, I think we referenced this either at the top or either off air or something, but like again, I feel like The Northman is his
Most mainstream.
most mainstream where most people is actually gonna like it, but it's still his thing. And I enjoyed it a lot. That of his movies, I think that's probably my favorite.
Yeah. The completely out of left field biopic that stars a CGI monkey,
Is
Better
that out yet?
Man. It came out Christmas Day.
Oh shit.
Something that I'm sure I've said to you off air is that if you are so uninteresting as a celebrity, the only way you can get people to watch your biopic is if they replace you with a monkey. Maybe you don't deserve a biopic.
Well, I think he is much bigger in the UK than in the US. But B, he's not even like either dead or old. Like he's only like
No,
45 or something like that. It seems like a weird time to do a bio. It feels like,
you might be bigger in the UK, but if no one knows you outside of the UK, you're just not famous enough for a biopic.
or at least only release it in the UK or something like that.
It's just on concept. It's a completely strange movie.
Granted, neither of us have seen it, so maybe we just don't get it.
Maybe we are missing out. And that's the last movies released this year.
Now that we've gone through them all, what do you think your favorite movie of the year is?
I mean, I'm still going Alien Romulus.
Really?
It's so this okay, so I'm gonna list off like my top like 4 or 5, and I don't know if I would, because a lot of them are not all the same genre, but I would say Alien Romulus, Sonic 3,
Wow.
Twisters,
Wow.
Smile 2.
Wow. Dune 2,
Hey,
dude?
and I was literally about to say Dune 2.
Okay. All right.
But we mentioned a lot of movies. I'm sure I'm forgetting something that I loved, and then it's been lost in the huge shuffle. But I don't know. I would say those are all a good representation of what I watched and liked this year. Oh, and then I also throw in Ministry of Ungenly Warfare.
Yeah. Dune 2's up there for me. Challengers was very good. Civil War, again, I think you should really watch that. Twisters was a lot of fun. I think for the movie that I enjoyed watching, I think I'd say probably either Dune 2 or Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Favorite movie?
See, I don't try and pick just one. I think that's impossible and unfair. That's why I try and go with like, you
Sure.
know, here's like a handful.
But I will also say as an honorable mention because it came out this year, but it was not a movie. It was, I think it's going to be quote unquote a limited series, but The Penguin was so fucking good, dude.
Penguin's fucking amazing. That's some of the best TV I've seen in like a decade. It is so
Hmm.
good.
So good. It is
Um,
very much, it is, again, it's in the world of the Batman, but it is definitely its own thing.
mhm.
Uh, okay. I think that's a good wrap for the year.
To you, the audience, why don't you guys go into our comments and tell us your favorite 5 movies you watched this year, if you can think of if you can think of that many.
Looking back though, since I think this will be Will this be the last episode posted before the new year? No,
Yes.
we've got no.
Yes.
This hold on, this will come out New Year's Day, but then we have something coming out this coming Sunday, which would be Ad Astra. So looking
Well,
back
yes.
over, granted, again, we have not been doing this for a full year yet. It's only been
I mean, almost.
no, it's going to be 28 weeks.
All right, all right.
Looking back at those 28 weeks, though, which has been your favorite movie?
God, let me pull up our Spotify page so I can remember all that we watched because we watched a lot of shit this year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we started in our first episode was April, the end of April.
I mean, we started off with a really good movie. I like The Prestige a hell of a lot.
Prestige is very good.
You know, Phantom Menace is a lot of fun.
National Treasure is a
Independence
lot of fun.
Day, Independence Day, Deadpool and Wolverine. Certainly not. We're all going to the World's Fair.
Or The True History of the Kelly Gang. I like
Um,
Logan Lucky a lot.
I like Logan Lucky a lot too. I like Anatomy of a Fall a lot as well.
Let's see what else.
Rango 1917. Both of those are good. Treasure Planet's fucking slaps.
Billboard was really good.
The Meg is not.
I loved The Iron Claw. I think that was
I
excellent.
honestly, I think as far as movies that I hadn't seen before for
That was
the
really
ones
good.
we reviewed, I think I'd probably say either The Iron Claw or Three Billboards are probably my favorite thing that we watched this year that was new to me because that was a
But you had also
fantastic movie.
you had not seen Birds of Prey, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it was good. I wouldn't say it's my favorite thing that I watched that was new.
I'm still pretty salty that never mind. We don't need to get into it. It's going to make me upset if we talk about it.
What? Well,
Nothing.
Duncan,
Nope.
we're like an hour 45. Just talk about it.
No, just that we had such different how the discussion went for Comet because I'm so passionate. I really don't want to get into it because it's
Okay,
going to make
okay.
I'm going to get upset about it.
That's okay. Yeah, I mean, I would say either Iron Claw or Three Billboards, or I would also say Anatomy of a Fall. I think those are probably my favorite three things that we did this year.
Yeah, maybe not Anatomy of a Fall, but at least because again, I think I've seen a lot of movies, but the movies that this podcast didn't, for lack of a better word, force me to watch, but Iron Claw and what did you just say? God damn it!
I don't
God,
know. What did I just say?
I'm totally been listening.
um,
Fuck, what
Iron
was it?
Claw
And
and
Three
Three
Billboards.
Billboards.
Were really, really good. But I'm also really glad that we saw things like Madam Web and just how horrendous it was.
I'm glad that we went back and we rewatched things like Scooby Doo and like the original X-Men movie.
Or Knives Out, or what else? have
National
we
Treasure
done?
2, as unfortunate as it is.
That's one of the few movies, those the first and second one, that AMC, like the movie channel, has the rights to.
They run
So
constantly.
they run like at my work. I'm seeing those movies every like 3 or 4 days, every day. All right, that was another special feature. I think that was number 3, and obviously this is going to come out New Year's Day. So I guess from both of us, Happy New Year's. Hopefully, 2025 is another movie-filled year for you, as
As it will be for us.
as it will be for us. And I think we're most likely going to keep going on with this crazy adventure experiment of whatever this thing is.
Hopefully we keep improving, we keep experimenting, we keep learning what to do, what not to do, and
Mm-hmm.
hopefully you guys stick out there with us and bring along your friends as we always tell you to spread the cult.
Yep. So just as we usually say on our regular episodes, so if you're new, you've never heard this before. If you're not new, you can kind of tune out if you want to, but don't turn it off because we want your view count. But find us on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, Instagram. Tell your friends, family, pets, coworkers, lovers, mistresses, whoever it is. Anything else, Hayden, do you want to add before I cut this?
Nope. I think this was a fun look back of the whole year, and hopefully we'll have equally nice things to say about 2025.